There exists a legend, a whisper from the very dawn of civilization, one that predates the gods themselves, before Shiva, before Vishnu, before Brahma. There was a land, not a kingdom, not a city, but an island of wonder, floating in the center of a vast Central Asian sea. A sea that once shimmered just north of the towering Himalayas. This was no ordinary landmass. It was a realm of unparalleled beauty, untouched by time, a sacred jewel resting at the heart of a forgotten world. Upon this island lived a race unlike any other, beings of divine radiance cloaked not in myth, but in mystery. They wielded knowledge that modern science still cannot explain. Powers that bent the natural world, shaped matter, and whispered through the air like a song. And yet, they remained hidden. Their society was a sealed cosmos, entirely self-contained. They did not conquer. They did not evangelize. They simply watched, observing the surface world from a distance, a world they considered too violent, too unstable, too primitive. Their only connection to the rest of Earth? A sprawling web of tunnels, carved through stone beneath oceans, under mountain ranges, stretching for thousands of miles. These tunnels were not built for conquest, but for escape, because even paradise cannot outrun fate. For reasons lost to history, perhaps a great deluge, perhaps a celestial event, or a cosmic war, a cataclysm approached, one so devastating, so irreversible, that even this utopian realm faced certain destruction. And so, the people of the island made a singular, collective decision, not to fight, not to flee across the sea, but to descend into the very arteries of the earth itself. In one final act of unity, they vanished from the surface world. Their island was abandoned, their civilization inverted, from the skies above to the caverns below. A great silence fell upon the mountains. The sea receded, and what remained was nothing. No ruins, no graves, no trace, only the tunnels, now sealed or hidden in plain sight. For our journey, this ancient civilization has one name, Agartha. And if the legends are true, even now, deep beneath our feet, beneath ice caps, beneath deserts, beneath cities, they still walk, waiting, watching, preparing. But for what? That is the mystery. And today, we're going to follow the trail they left behind. But what if this isn't just legend? What if the whispers of Agartha still echo, not just in myth but in the forgotten corners of our world, etched into ancient texts, buried beneath mountains, and remembered by civilizations long gone? To find the truth, we begin at the root, in the sacred soil of the East, where the first clues to Agartha's existence may have been planted thousands of years ago. We begin our descent in the ancient soil of India, a land where time itself whispers forgotten truths. Long before Shiva and Vishnu ruled the heavens, an even older story was told, of a lost island hidden beyond the mountains, veiled in mystery and light. Long before the familiar pantheon of Hindu gods graced the epics, a more primal narrative took root, speaking of a lost island. This was no mere landmass defined by earthly contours, but a realm of ethereal beauty said to have once shimmered in the heart of a vast Central Asian sea, a sapphire jewel nestled north of the still-rising peaks of the Himalayas. The beings who dwelled here were not quite gods, yet possessed an aura that transcended mortality, wielding powers that defied human understanding. Their knowledge, it is said, was so profound that they chose the path of isolation, their society a beacon of enlightenment deliberately shielded from the turmoil of the nascent surface world. This hidden sanctuary bore names like Agartha and Agartha in ancient texts, a place where the boundaries between science and spirituality blurred into seamless harmony. Their civilization knew no strife, no famine, no decay, only an unbroken ascent towards wisdom. Their sole connection to the world beyond was the enigmatic network of the Great Tunnels, described not as crude excavations, but as subterranean arteries stretching beneath continents, linking to hidden chambers under mountains and the ocean's floor. Then came the Great Upheaval, a cataclysm so immense its precise nature now lies shrouded in the mists of time. Some ancient verses whisper of a world-drowning flood, others of a celestial fire that rained from the heavens, and still others of an invasion by forces utterly unknown. Faced with this existential threat, the inhabitants of Agartha did not succumb. They descended, their island perhaps swallowed by the encroaching waters or unmade by the cosmic event. But beneath the earth, they endured, their paradise transforming into a kingdom of shadows, illuminated by self-luminescent stones and humming with the power of forgotten technologies. Intriguingly, the seemingly fantastical geography of this legend finds a strange echo in the very geology of the Himalayas. These towering peaks, now the roof of the world, were once submerged beneath the Tethys Sea. The slopes of Everest and K2 still yield marine fossils, shells, corals, the delicate remnants of prehistoric sea lilies, silent witnesses to a submerged past. Could the Central Asian Sea of the Agartha legend be a cultural memory, a distorted recollection of this ancient ocean? If so, the island of Agartha might have been a real landmass, a surviving fragment of a drowned world, later erased by the relentless collision of tectonic plates. Or perhaps its geography was always more symbolic, a representation of a lost golden age, preserved in myth as surface civilizations rose and fell. The legend's insistence on the great tunnels also sparks profound questions. These were not mere primitive burrows, but often described as polished geometric corridors, their walls seemingly fused by intense heat or some unknown technology. The lore suggests that entrances to this subterranean network still exist in remote corners of the world. In India, the labyrinthine passages of the Ellora and Ajanta caves, with their inexplicably precise carvings, are often whispered to conceal gateways. Similar legends cling to the rugged Hindu Kush in Afghanistan, the remote Altai mountains of Mongolia, and the mysterious plateau of Leng in Tibet. Some accounts even claim these tunnels are still traversed by unseen beings or forces. It's crucial to note that the concept of a hidden subterranean realm with advanced inhabitants predates the more widely known Western interpretations. Examining the historical record reveals intriguing Eastern roots. Prince Harji Sharif and Alexandra Saint-Yves, circa 1885. Their Sanskrit lessons, as mentioned earlier, reference the Great Agarthian School, indicating the term's existence. Within certain Indian mystical circles, Louis Jacoliot, 1873-1875. This French magistrate stationed in India documented local tales of Agartha, a sunken city ruled by ancient priest kings, Brahmatras, who retreated underground following a primordial conflict. Ernest Renan, 1871. This French philosopher drew a connection between the Asgard of Norse mythology and Central Asia, hinting at a potential shared Indo-European heritage of myths concerning hidden powerful realms in that region. These pre-Saint-Yves references strongly suggest that the Agartha narrative was not a purely Western invention, but rather a thread woven into the fabric of Eastern esoteric traditions, later adopted and reinterpreted by European mystics. This raises a fundamental and enduring question. Why do so many ancient cultures across the globe, from the Hopi with their legends of the ant people to the Tibetan traditions of Shambhala, share remarkably similar myths of advanced subterranean civilizations? Is this a collective, albeit distorted memory of a real prehistorical event? Or does it tap into a deeper, perhaps archetypal human desire for a sanctuary untouched by the ravages of time and conflict? While the ancient whispers of Agartha lingered in the esoteric traditions of the East, the legend experienced a dramatic resurgence and transformation when it crossed into the Western world. The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed a fascinating rediscovery, largely spearheaded by the intriguing French occultist Alexandre Saint-Yves d'Alvedre. It was his encounter with the enigmatic Prince Harji Sharif in 1885 that proved to be the catalyst. Their Sanskrit lessons, remarkably, made direct reference to the Great Agarthian School, a detail that strongly suggests the concept of Agartha, or at least a closely related tradition, was already alive and well within certain Indian mystical circles. Through these lessons, St. Yves painstakingly documented a vision of Agartha that was both geographically specific and technologically advanced. He described a vast subterranean world nestled beneath the towering Himalayas, governed by a spiritual triumvirate, the Brahma, the Mahatma, and the Mahanga, who presided over a society possessing incredible knowledge and innovation. His writings even hinted at technologies that would only be realized decades later, such as descriptions strikingly similar to fiber optic communication and the concept of wireless energy transmission, all meticulously recorded in ancient libraries, inscribed with the mysterious Vatanian script. However, the story of St. Yves and Agartha takes a decidedly enigmatic turn with the fate of his book, Mission of India in Europe, Mission of Europe in Asia. After its initial printing in 1886, St. Yves, for reasons that remain intensely debated, ordered its destruction, with only a handful of copies surviving his fiery decree. The single remaining manuscript eventually found its way to his disciple, Papus, Gérard Oncos, who published it posthumously. Theories surrounding this act of literary immolation abound, each adding another layer to the Agartha mystery. Was it a direct command from the hidden realm itself, fearing premature exposure? Did St. Yves come to a profound realization about the potentially destabilizing power of Agartha's knowledge? Or was it a more personal, mystical injunction, akin to the vows of secrecy within ancient Hermetic traditions? Regardless of the true motive, St. Yves's suppressed work became a foundational text, the very cornerstone upon which the modern Western mythos of Agartha would be built. In the early 20th century, the Agartha narrative found another compelling, albeit controversial, voice in the figure of the Polish explorer Ferdynand Ossendowski. His sensational 1922 account, Beasts, Men, and Gods, chronicled his harrowing escape across Central Asia amidst the turmoil of the Russian Revolution. Within his vivid narrative, Ossendowski recounted eerie encounters with Mongolian lamas who spoke of Agarthi, a phonetic variation of Agartha, a hidden kingdom ruled by the enigmatic King of the World. Ossendowski's portrayal of Agarthi included striking elements: a divine monarch residing in a subterranean palace whose very prayers could command the stillness of animals and even shift the tectonic plates of the earth; a vast network of tunnels stretching beneath continents with rumored entrances in the Himalayas, the desolate expanse of the Gobi Desert, and even the distant Americas; and advanced technology, including descriptions of radiant energy weapons and the ability to exert psychic influence over events on the surface world. While critics were quick to accuse Ossendowski of drawing heavily from St. Yves's earlier work, the preeminent scholar of esotericism, René Guénon, offered a compelling defense. Guénon, through his rigorous investigations into Eastern traditions, confirmed that Tibetan and Mongolian lore independently spoke of a subterranean realm inhabited by enlightened beings, lending credence to Ossendowski's claim of an independent encounter with this ancient belief. Ossendowski's account also injected a sense of geopolitical urgency into the Agartha legend. He controversially suggested that the Bolshevik Revolution was orchestrated by shadowy forces actively opposed to Agarthi, framing the hidden kingdom as a vital, cosmic force, maintaining balance against the encroaching chaos of the modern world. Building upon these foundational accounts, René Guénon, in his 1927 work The King of the World, delved into the deeper philosophical and symbolic dimensions of Agartha. Unlike the more literal interpretations of St. Yves and Ossendowski, Guénon approached Agartha with a distinctly metaphysical lens. He posited that Agartha was not merely a physical location, but also a spiritual center, a pole of divine authority representing the primordial Hyperborean tradition. Its rulers, in Guénon's view, were not simply earthly monarchs, but living embodiments of cosmic law, preserving the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal order of the universe. The king of the world, therefore, was less an individual and more an office, a conduit for transcendent wisdom. Guénon's interpretation elevated Agartha beyond the realm of mere conspiracy or geographical discovery, positioning it as the very heart of all authentic esoteric traditions, from Hinduism to Freemasonry. The Western rediscovery of Agartha, then, was a complex interplay of esoteric revelation, adventurous exploration, and profound philosophical interpretation. St. Yves unearthed the initial blueprint. Ossendowski provided a seemingly independent, experiential narrative, and Guénon offered a deeper, symbolic understanding. This period firmly cemented Agartha's place in the Western imagination, transforming it from a relatively obscure Eastern whisper into a compelling and enduring element of modern occultism and the ongoing human quest for hidden worlds and ancient wisdom. The whispered legend of Agartha, with its hidden kingdom and subterranean pathways, is not a solitary echo in the vast chambers of human imagination. Instead, it resonates within a global chorus of myths and traditions, a testament to our enduring fascination with what lies concealed beneath the surface of our world. Across continents and cultures, the archetype of the inner earth, a realm often inhabited by advanced, divine, or ancestral beings, surfaces with remarkable consistency, weaving a rich tapestry of subterranean lore. In the Americas, the very origins of humanity are often traced to the depths of the earth. The Navajo Diné people speak of their emergence from a subterranean first world, a journey through successive underworlds to reach the light of day. The Hopi tell tales of the Ant people, benevolent beings who sheltered humanity in sprawling underground cities during times of global cataclysm. Echoing the Agartha narrative of hidden entrances, Apache legends whisper of a vast cave system. In Arizona, a winding path leading to an inner earth kingdom inhabited by a mysterious tribe. Further north, the creation stories of the Pawnee and Zuni tribes both place humanity's genesis beneath the soil, their emergence a symbolic journey into the world above. Journeying south to Mesoamerica, the Mayan civilization conceived of Xibalba, the place of fear, not merely as an afterlife, but as a tangible physical underworld, complete with its cities, rivers, and trials. Their sacred text, the Popol Vuh, paints a vivid picture of this subterranean realm, even locating its entrance within the caves of present-day Guatemala. Intriguingly, beneath the majestic ruins of Tikal, archaeologists have mapped an astonishing network of over 500 miles of tunnels, some leading to chambers yet unexplored. Could these have served as escape routes, ceremonial pathways, or even remnants of a more ancient connection to the underworld? Further north, the secrets beneath Teotihuacan's Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent continue to be unearthed, with the discovery of a liquid mercury river and hidden chambers fueling speculation about lost technologies and forgotten subterranean passages. In South America, the legends persist. The Inca spoke of Paititi, a fabled golden city hidden deep within the Amazon rainforest, a refuge for their empire survivors fleeing the Spanish conquistadors. In Ecuador, the enigmatic Tayos caves are said to contain artificial tunnels and metallic libraries, claimed by explorer Juan Moritz as remnants of a long-vanished underground civilization. Across the Atlantic, the ancient civilizations of Africa and the Middle East also harbored tales of subterranean realms. In Egypt, the Greek historian Herodotus in the 5th century BCE documented accounts of a vast labyrinth near Lake Moeris, a complex structure boasting 3,000 chambers connected to the Great Pyramids by underground passages. Strabo, centuries later, corroborated these accounts, describing an extensive subterranean network beneath the Giza Plateau, much of which remains unexplored to this day. The enduring mystery of the Hall of Records, believed by figures like Edgar Cayce and modern theorists to lie hidden beneath the Sphinx, further fuels the notion of a repository of ancient knowledge concealed beneath the sands. In Ethiopia, the remarkable Lalibela churches, hewn directly from the rock beneath the earth, are linked to legends of a secret tunnel network stretching to Jerusalem, with some traditions speaking of hidden underground cities guarding sacred relics. Returning to Asia, beyond the Indian heartland of the Agartha legend, we find perhaps the most direct parallels. The Tibetan Buddhist tradition speaks of Shambhala, a mystical kingdom often described as nestled within or beneath the majestic Himalayas. Like Agartha, Shambhala is portrayed as a sanctuary of peace, wisdom, and advanced spiritual knowledge, inhabited by enlightened beings and sometimes associated with extraordinary technologies. The legends of Shambhala predate Tibetan Buddhism, with roots stretching back to the ancient Zhangzhung culture and echoes in Hindu texts. The Russian mystic Nicholas Roerich, during his expeditions in the 1920s, famously sought Shambhala, believing it to be the same as Agartha. Even today, some Himalayan monks speak of hidden valleys like Ganges, where immortal sages are said to reside in secluded, timeless realms. In India itself, beyond the initial Agartha legends, the ancient Ajanta caves, with their unexplained acoustics and hidden passages within the 30 rock-cut Buddhist temples, and the monolithic Kailasa temple at Ellora, carved top-down from a single rock with legends hinting at connections to Agartha's tunnels, further contribute to this subterranean tapestry. Even in China, local folklore in Shanxi province whispers of an inner world within Mount Taibai, complete with ancient cities, while the 2,000-year-old artificial Longyu caves stand as a silent testament to sophisticated, undocumented subterranean construction. Across the European continent, the echoes persist. The oracles of the ancient Greek world, like the Oracle of Delphi, were said to commune with chthonic, underworld deities through sacred caves. Plato's myth of Atlantis, with its eventual submersion, may have inspired later hollow earth theories, with some theorists suggesting Atlantean survivors retreated into subterranean refuges. Celtic and Norse lore also feature hidden realms, with the Tuatha De Danann of Irish myth retreating into the Sidai, fairy mounds, and the icy underworld of Niflheim and the realm of the Dark Elves, Svartalfheimr in Norse mythology, hinting at subterranean domains. The sheer ubiquity of these myths begs the question, what unifying thread connects them? Could the existence of vast natural karst cave systems like Mammoth Cave provide a geological basis for these widespread beliefs? Do ancient mines and tunnels, such as the extensive network at Derinkuyu in Turkey, offer a real-world precedent for subterranean habitation? Or do these myths tap into a deeper psychological archetype, as Carl Jung suggested with his theory of the collective unconscious, where subterranean worlds symbolize the hidden depths of the psyche or the journey toward spiritual awakening? Could they even be fragmented memories, passed down through millennia, of lost civilizations who sought refuge beneath the earth during times of great upheaval? Global tapestry of subterranean lore, rich with diverse narratives and compelling parallels, underscores the enduring power of the Agartha legend. Our expedition into the whispers of Agartha has reached its terminus, yet the echoes of this subterranean enigma linger in the chambers of our minds. We embarked on a quest that transcended the rigid boundaries of time and geography, venturing into a realm where the tangible edges of reality blur with the captivating allure of myth. From the ancient, sun-drenched lands of India, where the first seeds of the legend were sown, to the shadowed corners of the Western occult revival, and across the vast continents where global myths of inner worlds bloom in diverse forms, Agartha has proven to be a story that burrows deep into the human psyche. The fragments of evidence we've unearthed are like half-buried artifacts, hinting at a reality both strange and compelling. The Earth's ancient memory, the very bones of our world bear witness to transformations beyond imagining. The marine fossils clinging to the Himalayan peaks whisper of a primordial sea, a lost Central Asian ocean that lends an uncanny resonance to tales of sunken islands and vanished realms. And beneath the familiar surface, the labyrinthine embrace of vast cave systems, from the Mayan underworlds to the subterranean cities carved into the Anatolian earth, and the silent engineered spaces of ancient China, suggest a long and profound human relationship with the depths. The dreamers and the seekers, figures who dared to peer beyond the veil of the ordinary. The visionary Alexandre Saint-Yves, the intrepid Ferdinand Ossendowski, and the esoteric philosopher René Guénon, each offered their unique cartography of Agartha, a hidden domain of profound wisdom and perhaps unimaginable power nestled beneath the Asian heartlands. Their accounts, interwoven with the ancient threads of Eastern traditions like the mystical Shambhala and the submerged city of Agartha, paint a picture of a belief system with roots stretching deep into antiquity. A universal song of the deep. Across continents and cultures, a similar melody arises. Tales of inner worlds, advanced beings, guarded knowledge, and sanctuary from earthly cataclysms. From the ant people who sheltered the Hopi to the Mayan lords of Xibalba, from the subterranean labyrinths of Egyptian lore to the icy halls of the Norse Svartalfheimr, these recurring motifs resonate with a primal human understanding, a shared dream of a world hidden from the vagaries of time and surface strife. Yet the heart of Agartha remains veiled in a tapestry of unanswered questions. A tangible kingdom? While no explorer's torch has yet illuminated its fabled cities, and no map has charted its hidden tunnels, the sheer scale of our planet's unexplored subterranean realms leaves a tantalizing space for possibility. Could subtle, unexplained anomalies, beneath the towering Himalayas or in other remote corners of the globe, betray the existence of vast, uncharted spaces, a mirror to the soul? Perhaps Agartha is not a destination for earthly travelers, but a landscape of the inner self. Could it be, as Carl Jung theorized, a potent symbol of the collective unconscious, a wellspring of primal wisdom and forgotten truths? Or, as the mystics suggest, a spiritual axis mundi, a metaphysical center that transcends the limitations of physical geography? A secret buried deep? The fervent obsession of groups like the Nazi Ahnenerbe, coupled with persistent whispers of classified explorations into the Earth's depths, ignites the imagination with the possibility of a suppressed truth. Could the monumental scale of ancient underground constructions and the persistence of these legends hint at a history deliberately concealed? In the end, the power of Agartha transcends the need for definitive proof. It lies in the profound human longings it reflects, the yearning for a world untouched by suffering, a repository of ancient wisdom, a glimmer of hope for a future beyond our current limitations. It whispers questions that resonate deep within us. Are we truly the sole inheritors of this planet's mysteries? Did civilizations rise and fall before our recorded history, leaving behind secrets in the shadows? Is the enlightenment we seek not lost, but merely waiting to be rediscovered? In the hidden depths, whether Agartha exists as a physical kingdom of wonders, a potent metaphor for our inner potential, or a truth deliberately concealed, its legend endures as a testament to the boundless capacity of the human imagination and our innate drive to explore the uncharted territories of our world and our consciousness. It reminds us that even in an age of relentless exploration, the Earth still holds secrets, and that the spirit of wonder remains our most reliable compass, guiding us beyond the known horizons. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of the Agartha enigma. Though the fabled tunnels may remain shrouded in mystery, the very act of seeking keeps the spirit of discovery alive. Until the next whisper from the unknown.